Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, I'm gonna do a pretty deep dive into the divine masculines right now. I'm gonna do a storyboard. I am going to do emotional, mental, and physical realm. I'm gonna look at the overview. So divine masculines, this reading is for you. We're gonna look at your emotions, your conscious mind, your physical world, and we're gonna talk about and clarify anything that comes up that might be of importance and significance for you to live your best life. So thank you, Divine Creator. What can we see for the divine masculines? What can we see emotionally, mentally, and physically that's going on for the DMs at this time that would be of use to know for union, for abundance? I'm just going to lay these out. I'm going to lay out all of them and then let you know what I get here. I want to say also I just opened up the rest of August for readings. If you haven't gotten your spot yet, go grab that. I would love to work with you. Okay. All right, so emotionally, what have we got here? I like to pull a card from the bottom of the deck to see what the key energy is. So emotionally, we've got this, could be third party, but unconditional love, friendship. This doesn't, bring the sexual tension into it. This is the true essence of connection, the foundation of friendship. So that is the theme that the emotions are dealing with right now for the masculines. And then these 6 cards are what we've got. We do have the World. Okay, so some major cycles closing out. This is surrender to self-love. So the masculines choosing devil energies or self-love. A lot of times we're told we're selfish if we do that. But the divine masculines are coming out the start gate with this unconditional love. And I'm literally hearing, divine masculines, that you are basically saying, if anybody is going to be this kind of devil's advocate in my life and it goes against what my heart is telling me, that's not unconditionally loving. That's not kind. That's not, it's got an agenda. You're learning to read the fruits of how people show up. So you're learning who has your best interest at heart, who is healed enough to be generous, and who is able to show up as a true friend, alliance. This is interesting energy, because it could imply that you're realizing right now that certain people, even family, friends, colleagues, aren't necessarily in an abundant flow, and you've outgrown sort of this kind of energy that rubs you the wrong way, chides to teach, pokes fun at, is a bother. You're really seeing how you don't need to put yourself in harm's way with that kind of hazing I just heard, or people picking on the underdog to try and get you to fight back or to, live a little. But that is not what you've been shown in this connection with your counterpart. You've seen compassion is a higher frequency, a higher vibration, and so your tolerance to put up with the bullshit is keeping you up at night, I heard. Or your lack of tolerance to keep wearing the mask, playing that game. There are some truths that you're coming to right now about your abundance, about your path, your internal truth, that only you know where your heart is calling you, to your Empress, but also to a more abundant, more loving, fulfilling, kind, balanced type of existence. This is interesting because you've been getting the message from various locations here, coming out of nowhere. You're getting this confirmation that people who are cycling in these devil energies on that hamster wheel are not actually the ones that are attaining this abundance. They are actually the ones that have the money issues and struggles and drama and all of that. So you're kind of starting to see that these people that profess to know, that are preaching, that are telling others what to do, they haven't really figured it out on their own. And then we have ending the cycle. So yeah, divine masculines, you're mustering enough self-direction now to individuate. This is the key, your own internal spiritual, energetic guidance that really prioritizes this open, growing, flowing kind of energy in your life. So that's the emotional level. Let's see what advice we have for the masculines that are waking up to these inconvenient understandings that they are in lower vibrational lives in some regard. The heart is awake. Love, innocence, and reverence. Yeah. So this is not about being in judgment or judgmental energy. This is about being discernment. This is because your heart has woken up to love, and now you see what isn't love. Now you see what isn't kind. Now you understand, because your heart, the Son of Cups is in the inverse, which is a deep internal knowing of what love is. You've got a reverence for these things that are life affirming, that create flow and allow for abundance to be there. They're not the negative, kind of pessimistic, low vibrational, condemning kind of energies. Now that you have this childlike innocence again, this fresh energy, this purity, this even righteousness growing in you because your heart is attuning back to love, everything is making a little bit of difference. You've got a reverence for where genuine, authentic energy is, and less of a tolerance to continue putting yourself into scenarios that don't foster that. Even if they're well-meaning, I just heard. Okay, on the conscious mind, we are getting commitment. Wow, the key card here is commitment. So this is you on your conscious mind, understanding, cat hair, what commitment is, and getting this higher guidance, these spiritual keys based on this flow of energy, the friendship, true knowledge of that. And again, we have this unconditional love. Your emotions are in alignment here with your conscious mind, and you are really prioritizing things that really say to each their own. Someone else's advice is not necessarily needed in my case, because my heart beats to the beat of a different drum, my drum, between me and source, my intuition. And the ways of the world aren't necessarily the ways that your conscious mind and your heart are understanding your twin connection, this unconditional love. The Ace of Cups truly is the unconditional love. In the inverse like this is you getting ready to receive that in your life and not believing it to be some fictitious, like a fairy tale type of a thing that is not really accessible, but just sort of glorified. You are learning that you could be somebody that has it all. And this love has helped teach you that you've actually likely even met somebody here that you could have it with. So yeah, this is your free will, this unconditional love of self and other that you're seeing emerge is causing you to look for the long term, to balance out, not to stay quiet when you're feeling like sharing a deeper loving truth. This is you not holding back. This is you seeing that does more harm than good, that actually, running the risk of rocking the boat by saying, no, I don't actually share that opinion. This is what I think. You're starting to step into the payoff of leadership versus keeping quiet and letting people kind of spin their wheels and flounder, at least when where you're concerned. It's like you're not wanting to just take it anymore, to take the opinions of others that are, I'm seeing a farmyard shoveling manure. Right now, you're not willing to just receive all of that manure anymore. You're not wanting to perpetuate heartache. And you've learned some things on this journey, wise divine masculines. And now it's about bravely expressing these wisdoms and putting down the guard, putting down this survival mentality that keeps quiet, that sucks it up, that does it anyways, that's the only sane one, the only one that's got it figured out, the buckle down and get shit done kind of one. You're not doing that anymore. You're making the changes to actually tell it like it is, in a loving way, in a consistent way, in a leadership way. This is also the card of the entrepreneur. So your leadership skills are upping right now. You may have even experienced at your place of work, in dynamics or in families or in friend groups, you have likely started to see this new, more authentic, stable leadership coming in. And I'm being told you could be proud of yourself, divine masculines, for stepping into it and not holding back when it counts, seeing yourself as mature and wise. What is the advice we can get for the masculines based on this energy? Golden seed, light, wholeness, warmth, and well-being. Yes, it's not about you being bossy or telling others what to do or rejecting others by having a difference of opinion. This is because your heart is in alignment with bringing in well-being for all involved. And true well-being runs the risk of saying things that sometimes people don't want to hear, or that are new concepts to them, that are introduced. If you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Well, you have the golden light here, and I mean the green light, green golden light, to express these higher frequencies, these different ways of approaching problems or balancing out certain scenarios. You now are able to show this more soul-driven, progressive way of looking at things, and not holding back and just watching people maybe flail. When we're developing, we sometimes start seeing our intuition have premonitions about what could go wrong. And if we lack the confidence or don't have the wherewithal to understand what we could do actually to avert that, sometimes we see these hardships play out around us or affect our loved ones or things like that before we're mature enough to know how to be of good when we see that stuff arising. I'm getting here, masculines, that you are beginning to know how to act on this intuition in a way that is averting danger, averting heartache. And you know how proud you are of yourself here, and how, let's say, so to speak, the divine is proud of you. There is this connection to source. You're kind of on it in a way that's making a difference, and you're seeing that it's because you're not necessarily holding back, but it's not driven from ego. It's truly empowered here with this golden seed. That's like the solar plexus, not being an ego, but acting in this beautiful, honoring way that is truly geared for well-being, not to be right. You know, there's a difference between just wanting to be right or fostering well-being for a group, for the whole, all of that. What else do we see? Chamber of regeneration, multiplication, and growth. So because you are now seeing how to function through well-being and what that looks like, what that feels like to consider, and to really have a heart to find true solutions, not just to do it your way, for instance, that edge is being taken off and you're becoming a wise leader. What is that Lao Tzu quote? A good leader leads and the people don't even know they're being led. Something like that. You are now, though, you are expressing, masculines, a little bit more of the backstory on why you're making certain judgment calls, and you're becoming more respected here. And that is growing in this genuine confidence because you are so perceptive, but you've been hesitant to speak your mind for fear of looking like you are being defiant or unrealistic or impractical or not fun. And so now you're going to be given more opportunities to be valued, respected. I'm hearing pay raise for some. There will be a promotion. Yeah, beautiful. This is the beginning of much more justified abundance coming in, masculines. And this is the mindset. You know, you've been cultivating this heart for actual benefit through your being, this light, wisdom. And we're beginning to see that channeling through. This is you channeling that on the fly. And I'm getting that for many masculines, you have just come through something that has impressed upon you, that you pulled something off here that was only because you made a judgment call that went above and beyond what others were doing in that moment. So that's phenomenal. Seal of harmonic order, harmony, cooperation, dynamic interaction. Exactly. You're not doing it to be right. You're doing it for the betterment of the whole. And then we have simultaneity, nonlinear processing, and epiphany. So your divine feminine is also tapping into an increase of their psychic intuitive abilities. They are seeing how they can follow their heart so they can be empowered, so they can make better judgment calls. They're leveling up as well. This is happening for your feminine. This is a new beginning, hydrogen atom, consciousness, beginning, and faith. So this is giving you more confidence, a new found faith in running your life based on this kind of intuitive flow, this kind of discernment, this kind of action based on a knowing and wisdom. And yeah, divination, intuition, inner vision. I didn't even see that card. So your intuition has heightened, and it is actually supporting your mental processes so that you can bring in solutions instead of griping, instead of pointing the finger, instead of standing idle, instead of just watching things play out. You've come through a developmental stage where you're starting to be more efficient with bringing in true benefit. And it's because you're trusting yourself. That is absolutely beautiful, divine masculines. Okay, in the physical here, we do have separation. This can be with the feminine. This can also be depression. So you might be realizing that you have been living a double life, that your heart has been telling you one thing and that you have not been going for that. So I'm seeing some of this shift in consciousness is also preparing you to be more fully motivated to go towards what your heart says with this twin flame connection, or this twin flame path of evolution, going towards your divine counterpart, going towards the things that are for you, the things that you see that would delight you, that would be of true benefit. This is you trusting yourself more to access that stuff in the physical and not hedge yourself out in the cold, not watch your share pass you by, the things that you would ideally want to manifest just sort of float on by. I'm seeing clouds just floating by in the sky, seeing those things and saying, oh, that's just this, that's for dreamers. You're not doing that anymore. You're now seeing that because you can trust yourself in other ways, you're allowing yourself more permission to connect with real life things in a personal way that will actually be very, very fulfilling. Things that you've wanted to manifest that you felt unworthy of, that you haven't felt like you could access. This is where it comes in for you, and you get to make healthier choices in your physical world that reflect this self-love and newfound confidence and security that's growing in you because you're becoming so, your character is becoming stronger. You have a growing sense of integrity, meaning your head and heart are not arguing anymore. You're starting to validate the things you're being shown, and because you're seeing successes, you're seeing that you are different. You are more heart and soul centered than a lot of people that are still in conflict energies, in ego. You have been evolving at a rapid pace here, masculines. And so, yeah, I'm going to actually pull a clarifier on that Five of Pentacles. What is the source of this Five of Pentacles for the masculines? Oh, I saw the Twin Flame Union card. Page of Wands, you know, feeling like you have to go it alone. And this is the spiritual seeker. This is desiring to put the burden down and ask for higher guidance on the next steps, to be present in the moment and tune into that intuition. Instead of spinning wheels and not knowing, this is actually, you know, stepping out of the burden, the overwhelm, and energetically saying, you know, dropping in and saying, what would make a difference here? What would truly make a difference here? What is the need? And what would fulfill that deficiency? What could heal it? What could solve it? What could make something easier? What could alleviate the burden here? And so you're working on becoming quite proficient within the moment, understanding where there is a need, and then genuinely seeking some solution rather than just being triggered or going into ego. You're now looking at and considering multiple angles of things that would be truly beneficial. So this is a new beginning where you are understanding how to access this higher knowledge. It doesn't mean that you are completely dialed in yet, but it is here on the table. There is a lot of confusion. There's always a lot of options. There's always a lot of ways to look at things. But this is saying that you're learning how to choose the most beneficial one on an energetic sense. You know, like this is not only damage control, but it's also good in a 911. You aren't going to get distracted. This is of practical good. It's ultimate practical good because you're thinking on your feet, because ego is stepping out of the way and you just genuinely care. This is a genuine care. This also talks about root chakra healing. So this can mean individuating from the expectations of parents. We did see the world here. So this can be rising up and leaving generational things to go towards your Empress. So if you have been upholding anything generationally that you have felt like your divine counterpart, your love interest here would somehow conflict with the wishes of your family, your religion, you know, all of those deal breaker things. This is saying that as you heal your root chakra, as you are no longer worried that you'll be outcasted or rejected by those who you've become familiar with to go towards the things you want, that it actually takes the burden out of things because you're realizing you don't have to add that much people pleasing into the mix. And so, yeah, you are more free here to get rid of this conflict of interest that your head and heart have had. And you are saying, I don't know exactly how I'm going to communicate that I've made this choice to go towards a kind of different way of living than might be expected or that then is established commonly in the world. But I'm going to bridge that. I'm going to go for it and trust that this is my cross to bear. So yeah, this is your karmic healing path, masculines. And it's not by chance that these connections have offered true love and obstacles, because that is what brings us out of the judgmental, limited, playing small and expands what humanity is capable of. This is where, when you bridge into your destined path, into a higher path where your intuition, your heart also gets a vote, it is a genius frequency. It is more inclusive. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree unless you decide to. I mean, somebody made apple pie for the first time, just saying, right? And so you are still you, but you're going to be an extraordinary version. You're going to make that apple pie, divine masculines. That pie in the sky is going to be yours. Here's you meditating on the destined path and getting ready to take a leap of faith towards your high priestess. You've learned a lot here. This is divine feminine again. So these are all messages for you, divine masculines, but we have your divine counterpart, your high priestess, empress here, sort of waiting in escrow for when you come through these kind of rites of passages sufficiently that you can allow the flow to come in. And so, yeah, there is a preparation here by learning what really matters. So how do we support the masculines to come out of being torn, being in depression, being fearful that they're going to let friends, families, colleagues down, by individuating from the herd and doing something that hasn't been trailblazed before? How can we support the masculines with this? Chamber of teleportation, journey, exchange, transference. So you've been on this conscious love journey as a preparation. So trust the journey, trust the process, trust it. Let's get a special message from your divine feminine. What would your feminine say to you, divine masculines, about this? Ooh, quite a bit came out. It all is in the reverse. Oh, there's that Two of Wands that we saw near the beginning. So we've got this. We've got this. The operative word is we. Your divine counterpart is incredibly, you know, on your team. They've got your back. They know you've got their back. The world here, you're up and above these worldly concerns. It's like, I think I did that Rumi quote, there's a field outside of right and wrong, I'll meet you there. But this is, you know, rise above the world that way. Together, we can see this higher vantage point that really looks at how realistic it is to keep doing the same thing over and over generationally, or with the accepted societal norms, and not really, you know, people having extraordinary lives where they're super stoked on the way their lives turned out. It's not a lot of adventure or change. Yeah, we get this truth. We get this spiritual knowing. This falconer has sent that falcon out and is looking kind of like, yes, I knew I was going to get this ascended view, but I'm holding back. This person knows their truth. They're sitting on the truth. They know they have to leave that karmic imprinting behind. This card is lovely because there's straw bales here. That's not nourishing. The karma wants you to believe that you've been subscribing to something that's going to be deeply nourishing. Like, don't individuate from the norm because we've put all this work in and we've harvested this straw. And the masculine energy, you divine masculines, are realizing that's just straw. How do you eat from that? How do you sustain on that? That is bland. It is not nutritious. It is ready to be released and something else found. The ships are going to come in or they're going to pass you by, divine masculines. So this is really about you realizing you can rise up about it. And it's not news to you. You know this truth already. It's just a matter of hearing it back to you, that it's baby steps. This is a card of juggling, you know, in alignment with infinite love, but this is you making small steps. You don't have to go from zero to hero overnight. You can just begin. You can start somewhere. You can say, what do I have to lose? Yeah, here's that Fool. Here is that letting go of the burden, and justice here. So the Justice card is showing up to say that it might be a little bit premature, but you're not wrong to be feeling like you're being pulled in the direction. And you're allowed to delight in it. You're allowed to have an attitude that gets excited about what's coming with your divine counterpart. That you don't have to look at it as a woeful thing I just heard. You can actually get excited that it's a powerfully evolved way of looking at unlimited manifestation. And that when you trust yourself, when you develop that soul confidence, that you know who's truly on your team and who is an illusionary friend or a friend just for show. And it doesn't mean that people have ill intent or are trying to be low vibrational. It does mean, though, that you've done enough work to tell the difference for yourself, and you can be more of a light in the world now than a follower, than a herd mentality masculine. Okay, so let's see. I'm actually being told to look at what your divine feminine is thinking and feeling right now. Oh, unconditional love and those juggling, the Two of Pentacles, those baby steps. So your feminine feels this awakening in you. The two are one, I just heard. So energetically, your divine counterpart already is on the same page and wants to have this ascended life with you, where you do get to just enjoy and revel in the nature of reality and solve problems together and talk openly and have emotionally transparent communication and to be on each other's team. It's so lovely. So what can we see for the divine feminines? And I'm going to look at your energy, divine masculines, so we can pinpoint what your feminine's energy is, how they are presenting, and what your energy might be doing that is connected with how we see the feminines. And then I'm also going to get a little bit of advice here. I'm being told to get a different deck on what to do next regarding what we see. Okay, so your divine feminine, how are they thinking of your connection? Justice and Five of Wands. Oh, they want this. So even if we got the Justice in the reverse for you earlier, masculines, your feminine does see that this is a justified connection, that the two shall be left standing. And they feel honestly that any other karmic situations or other circumstances are not actually going to be able to railroad this connection. They do believe that this is the ultimate connection. What is your energy? Well, we're getting creation, multiplication, and growth. So I shuffled those really well. And now, did I? Did I? I think I did. I literally think I did. But let me do them again. I'm going to shuffle them again. I'm being told to shuffle them again. So this is where once you do align, once the karma is cleared, this is where exponential energy can come in. Let's see, clarifier, chamber of communication, correspondence, declaration, and telepathy. So your person is already giving you telepathic alliance here, and you are already receiving that. You're already putting it out there. And this is giving your divine feminine soul confidence that none of this extenuating circumstance really matters. What can we see for next steps here regarding telepathy? So yeah, your feminine has been hearing you. It's been coming across in enough of a way that they trust this love. Yeah, Empress. So this leapt over onto your feminine. And so this is you going towards your Empress. This is you professing your love. This is you saying, yeah, I think this can work. This is you acknowledging it more to yourself, that this person is picking up on your energy and staying the course, because it takes two. This person isn't just crazy. This is also a show that your higher self, your energetic self, has been in communion in the multidimensionality of this connection and has been voting for this counterpart, as unlikely as you think it could be, that this incredible Empress loves you. That's what the cards are saying, that you have chosen them as your Empress and they are holding you to it. And that is why neither of you can let this connection down, because you're happy, hunky-dory in the 5D, hugging it out, making spirit babies, designing a plan to save the world, you name it. Your love is winning in the 5D here. What is your feminine thinking of you? They think you're going through a transformation and coming to a deeper truth. What is your energy? Creation, multiplication, and growth. That card just came back again. It really wanted to come out. You are growing. Divine Masculines, I shuffled this 3 times. Here it is again for the 3rd time. So yeah, you are growing, and it is going to become exponential, because the more life-affirming, well-being, benefit, remember, we got those messages. It's not just to be right. It's to actually bring this growth, this exponential manifestation power in. Your feminine sees you stepping into that, sees you leveling up, sees you having a new beginning that doesn't conform to the old laws of physics in a limited materialism view of reality. What can we see? This is you. Oh my gosh. So this is King of Wands and Emperor. So we got the Empress and the Emperor here, and King of Wands. These both wanted to come out. So this is you taking that empowerment. This is you growing into the shoes not being too big. This is you taking action. This is father. This is the archetypal father and mother. So this can mean, you know, family leadership. This can mean that you feel mature enough to have a blended family or children of your own, that you are feeling like you are monogamous, that this Empress is the true match. The King of Wands is not only the shaman, but also my monogamous king. And so, yeah, this is beautiful, because you're going to start to see more and more that your feminine chose wisely, and that you are inextricably connected. That was a hard word to say. You're welcome. What is the heart space for these connections from your feminine? Yeah, they're waiting and watching what will happen next. They are sleeping on their truth, sitting on their truth, resting in their truth. They know that no manner of heartache is a long-term energy, that eventually the dust settles and the truth is revealed. What is your energy? Spine of fire, true self, passion, motivation, and purpose. So as you tap into your true self that does the upright thing, that doesn't hold back in times of need, that says the right thing, that takes action when you're intuitively guided, as you align with this integrity, this growing purpose allows for you to see who you really are energetically, regarding those around you, regarding your feminine, regarding other relationships. This gives you a sense of belonging, a sense of place, because as you become who you really are, you find your niche. And your feminine believes that this means that the two of you will be that beautiful twin flame level counterparts that can take on the world or rise above the worldly concerns together. What will transpire in the near future? We're getting Knight of Pentacles, this inner foundation of continuing to be who you really authentically are, continuing to walk that path to rise. What can we see for the heart space for you? How does your feminine feel for you on the heart space? They know that you've chosen some other path. This is the Queen of Swords in the inverse. That's my karmic mother. That is a karmic partner that is not kind. So there's some influence, some feminine energy, some preconceived notion about what the feminine is. It can be a paradigm. Something has been tactless. Something has been critical. Something has been cold. And they know that it caused you to miss an opportunity with them in the past. And they know that you are feeling, you know, any range of guilt, shame, embarrassment. Your feminine can feel your emotions. They understand that you have been trying to do your best, but there has been another influence that clouded your decision making. And they have a great deal of compassion for you, Divine Masculines. What is your energy that's causing the feminines to feel this? Freedom, sensitivity, beauty, sensuality. Yeah, because they see your potential, they're not taking it personally that you were not in strong enough energy to act on this connection sooner. They're seeing with compassion. It's not about them. It's about you overcoming this. I'm hearing Freudian mother wounding that has been playing out in various ways, that difficult connection with feminine energy that once damaged, it's hard to regain that essential trust. The feminine is our house, our initial introduction into this dimension. And if we are betrayed or harmed or in a disintegrated pattern with feminine energy, this goes for all people, that is a very, very core, deep wounding that is difficult to trust and love regarding. So yes, we are getting freedom, sensitivity, beauty, and sensuality. As you free yourself from that, there is nothing your feminine can't forgive you for in the past, because changed action is the best apology. You don't even have to apologize. If you can say, I was blind and now I see, and rise up and come out of that and choose differently and approach your feminine, that is the proof that your feminine needs. That is it. If you then say, I changed my mind, let me show you, that is honestly the most noble thing that could happen. We are seeing then 8 of Pentacles. This is the card of the specialist. So as you continue to free yourself, this is where you take that leadership. This is where you begin to really do things your own way because you trust yourself, masculines. So there's going to be more of a heartfelt encouragement here to go further, to be more ambitious, to be, put yourself out there confidently with your feminine, with choices in your reality, with career, with taking new directions, new paths in your life in any regard, which means leaving those behind that are not kind. After giving them a chance, taking space. It can be any kind of circumstances that you've been holding on to and playing small because of. That's changing, and that includes this first ascended chance with your counterpart here. What do the feminines wish for these connections? They're confused about where things are at because maybe communication has been dropping off, or there's been some kind of a disconnect. They do want to have reunion, but they don't want it to be convoluted. They want it to have some clarity. What is your energy here? Divinity, honor, responsibility, and humility. Temple of perfected essence. Yeah, so it's interesting because you're perfecting your connection to what is good and right and true, what is integral to you. And right now, your feminine senses that there's going to be a reunion, but they also know that you're dealing with a lot of overwhelm, that you're processing a lot of things right now, and that it's only a matter of time until you do find that loving, self-loving, compassionate way through it. They know that you're perfecting yourself right now. Possibly they think you're going through a bit of a dark night of the soul, and you might feel that as well. But the moral of this story is you are perfecting yourself. You are coming into mastery. Oh, King of Pentacles, you're becoming somebody that can commit, that can trust yourself, because it's no longer guesswork. That's that entrepreneurial card we saw in the conscious mind. You've had a growth spurt, and now you're seeing yourself as this King of Pentacles and no longer seeing yourself as immature or underdeveloped. You're starting to see proof that you have started to become who you've always known you could be. And that is the kind of clarity and ownership of your authenticity that your feminine is sensing is starting to clear in the energy at large, in your energy when they tune into you. What is the feminine's action at this time? Letting go of all the things that don't exonerate the love here. They are grieving, at least taking a look at all the lower vibrational storylines, that they're focused here on the things that have been lost, but the 2 cups of love are still standing there. So they know that the love is still here. Here's you, the Emperor. They at least know that they still desire you. Divine Masculine. So they are taking action to look at what hasn't worked, their own fault, the onus on them for not having been there in some ways. Looking at any grief, remorse, missteps, foolishness, embarrassment. They're also wanting to start over, I'm hearing, with you. What is your energy? Ecstasy, rapture, flux, amplification. Yeah, rapture, that's rising up above the world. That is, you know, getting up and above it. Heartwave resonator, ecstasy, rapture, flux, amplification. Once we get up and out of those lower vibrational assessments of reality, we can amplify the good stuff because there's nothing else sort of tainting it. And so, yeah, you're rising up above a lot of the old, self-loathing I just heard, and ways of really criticizing yourself and feeling unlovable. And this is causing the feminines to also look their unlovable aspects in the eye and desire to focus on what really matters and leave those things in the past. What is the direction? Yeah, more than meets the eye, where everybody's seeing that we manifest our reality based on our energetic understanding. What goes around comes around. What we put out there, we get. We manifest what we need, not what we want sometimes. So this is learning how that mechanism works so we can manifest what our hearts are telling us, this consistent, long-term, stable, righteous energy, the does it right kind of energy. So yeah, there is a releasing of all of the ego-aligned things that keep us bound to not having success in love. I just heard. What is the biggest challenge for the feminines at this time? Continuing to show up in their ascended version consistently in all circumstances. This is the Six of Wands, which is reputation, and the Three of Pentacles back to back here in the inverse, talking about the energetic discernment, intent, awareness under the surface of the appearances. So this is where the energy aligns with the outward. It's not a mask. It's not for show. So the feminine's challenge here is being infallible, pure, righteous, and showing up with authenticity and having that energetic intent in alignment with what they are showing community. So right now, right on, Adam, autonomy, fulfillment, and non-reaction. This is your energy, masculine. So you're taking accountability for yourself. Your feminine is mirroring that by really being impeccable with what they're putting out there. So this is you, not misinterpreting what you think you're seeing with your feminine or what you've seen in the past. If you love your feminine, they are cleaning up their act. They are refining. This means don't lower your vibe if you perceive some kind of a difference of opinion or energy that might have in the past been some kind of reason to be in judgmental, condemning energy of your feminine. What I'm getting here is that you're meant to hold the high frequency and allow your feminine to come into more of a clear representation for all to see of who they really want to be and have always wanted to be, and who they are becoming in action and in deed. So just hold your own. Don't lower your vibe. There is a brand new beginning here coming in for everybody based on this balancing out, everybody holding consistency in their own frequency. What is the solution for the feminine's challenge? Dropping the guard, not, preaching, but really embodying. So feminines, it's time to really embody deeply, walk your walk, talk your talk. Masculines, multidimensional consciousness, holographic information. So don't just look at it as though you and your counterpart are the only two people that are going through this stuff. Look at it culturally, generationally, familiarly, family-based. Look at it from all those aspects, that we are all in this together. It's multidimensional expression of evolution coming through us. What is the direction? Queen of Cups. So everybody's tapping into mind-blowing new ways of interpreting energy, I just heard, and loving unconditionally, even bigger, having more room in our hearts for the autonomous journey of becoming that each counterpart is going through, and all beings. You know, when we individuate from the herd, we can also believe that those individuals will get there in their time too. We don't have to hold ourselves back with guilt and shame and stay stuck in the status quo. We can believe that, you know, if we go towards our, what was it, apple pie, our pie in the sky, that all other people can be inspired to do the same. We don't have to fear that that is going to cause everybody to disintegrate or be disadvantaged. We don't have to be the glue. We don't have to carry other people's karma. That's codependent. And so there is this throwing off the energetic binding and celebrating here. What is the direction in the near future? Oh, life purpose, healing, passion. This is the voice. This is taking the scepter, the life purpose out into the world and being in true energetic leadership, having come through the proving ground, the rite of passage, and now knowing how to represent the light, how to hold that torch, how to be in balance. So again, it's not about being right, but of doing what is right and not holding back out of ego and not forcing any agendas through ego, but just being in that middle path that brings true benefit into the world. What is your energy? Portals, possibilities, and options. So this is a new level of existence that we really did see in that twin flame card where the counterparts are holding the world. Everything becomes accessible. Way more expansive opportunity can come in when we are in this open, multidimensional experience of reality. And it's not as complex as it sounds. It literally is as simple as love versus fear, closed versus open. This is the ending of burden. So this newfound passion, permission to align with positive energy, love, is eliminating burden in very simple, elegant, immediately accessible ways. We're just not voting for the things that caused the burden before, and we're saying there must be a better way, or we're choosing differently. So yeah, divine masculines, so much is about to open up to you as you say yes to these connections. That is why it is synonymous with your abundance. It's not because of your Empress that you're abundant, but the two teamed up, wowzers. Now we're talking innovation, generating so much love into the world, so much goodness together. Okay, many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.